Every child in this country, every person in this country, every woman in this country, every man in this country is my responsibility.
Late Grand Chief, when he was a Prime Minister, he left us with a debt of about 8.6 billion. Okay, O'Neill brought it to about 26 billion. This government, under the Pangu Party leadership, under James Marape, they have borrowed more than 27 billion, bringing our debt up to 53 billion. One mess up an answer as to our economic recovery package. Brazil has already won the nation. When you borrow fund, you must be backed by a project that will be able to generate revenue, to be able for you to repay your borrowings and at the same time sustain the budget. It remains to be seen that Marape himself truly doesn't understand the implications of strict international monetary fund demands that will come. In the next coming days and weeks, the country will know that the IMF has pressured this government and Marape has agreed, whether Treasurer knows or not, to devalue our kingdom.
I just want to ask the Treasurer this question. Is this growth, where is it coming from? Because the rest of the country, the economy is struggling to perform. Businesses are suffering down. Most of our exports, coffee, cocoa, fisheries, forestry, are all on the decline. The household assistance package that you have announced, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Treasurer, of 1.1 billion is not helping families put food on the table. But the real prices in the store goods is a very different story, Mr. Treasurer. In 2019, the price of bully beef was 11 kina 90. Today is closer to 20 kina.
We continue to hear statements like people are suffering, families are suffering, but no one provides any facts. No one provides any facts. And the data that we have used in government and have been for nearly half a century don't support those. The household package will benefit over 98,000 of its members. So tens of thousands of our families are benefiting, Mr. Speaker. Tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands. So let's stop making unfounded allegations like so many families are suffering.
The Prime Minister and the Treasurer announced recently that they are now going to be introducing the staff monitoring program introduced by IMF this time. By facilitating the loan of these billions of kina, the IMF is going to impose a dictatorial foreign controls on the government and undermine the sovereignty of our nation. I believe this government is very immature. It's not prepared to run this country. Treasurer and his Prime Minister should come out and tell the people of this country that we have serious financial problems. We are almost headed for bankruptcy.
The economy is not performing today. It's not performing because why? Cost of living has gone up due to inflation and, of course, government's overspending, which is creating this environment where the prices of goods are going up. Devaluation of kina is the other reason why prices of goods are continuously going up. So our wages for all the workers in the country has not been reviewed for the 5 years. So the real wages that our people are earning every fortnight is still the same. But the prices of goods have gone down. So now when you go down to the shops, you will find that you can't afford to buy the same things that you used to buy 5 years ago. Last minimum wage board meeting and the increase that we did to 3 kina 50 per hour for the minimum labor pay was done in 2016. Now it's 9 years since that last board meeting, and last 5 years I've mentioned it about 3 or 4 times on the floor of Parliament. When is government going to establish a minimum wages board and convene a meeting so that we can review Many of the people who are in the private sector are aware that their employees are getting less pay and they can't buy enough food for their families. Then they want to increase their wages. Many of the businesses are saying that. These are businesses that we are talking to. So they are trying to say, when is the government going to sit down and make it legal for us and set a rate that they can pay their employees?
Effective action against corruption is essential for economic growth in Papua New Guinea. And this should be the Marape government's priority number one. Now we know that corruption is a huge problem in this country and also comes with a huge economic cost. According to Transparency International's Corruption Perception Index, Papua New Guinea is ranked as one of the most corrupt countries. If the measures put forward by ECNAU and the National Research Institute are taken on board seriously by the Marape government, we will for sure see an improvement in Papua New Guinea's CPI score. We are therefore calling on the Marape government to take on board the recommendations put forward by NRI and ECNAU in ensuring that there is good governance, there is rule of law, there is control in the corruption, and at the end we will see an attraction of investments. There will be more job employment opportunities, but more importantly, there will be more government revenues flowing in.
Lord time lo samare come down. Me finish pasem. Me finish. Larim. Order. Order. Wait. I will give you opportunity to speak. Let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish and then you can give your argument. Wait. Wait. Wusak. Only in favor of decision. Sit down.
We will be definitely put in run-up in November. But that will be the final one because we are not going to create instability for the country. We want people to make a real choice. Do they want Marape still in there, continuously doing these corrupt deals and stealing and carrying on for the next 2 or 3 years? I hope you will celebrate 50 years like that in 2025. When we have a situation like that, he was elected by the same members of parliament, 104 eight members who voted for him as Prime Minister after the elections. Last vote count, he only had 75. That's a big difference. That means 1/3 of your parliament has no faith in you. 1/3 of your parliament. So obviously, there are more disgruntled members who are unhappy, rightfully so. Rightfully, for the people of this country, they are right to be unhappy that the Prime Minister is mismanaging the country. That's a prerogative of the caucus. And caucus is made out of the numbers of members who are in opposition and those who are wanting a change. So that will be determined at the right time.
I want to also indicate on the issue on your other question on the section 145. Constitution provides for this. We did as amendment. It's also notice and trying to pass a law where you attend a vote of no confidence and grace period applies both ways, whether to a success motion or a defeated motion. And so that at the moment the political instability permeates the air. I saw someone posting that round 1 is up and round 2 is in November 26. It doesn't do well for the country. He may see it as a fun for himself, but at the end of the day, he comes by crawling for money, asking money for his district. Where do you grow the money? You need to grow when the stability is there and the government is at work to secure investment. So we, all in all, this coalition looking at how we could strengthen without compromising our accountability by the executive government. How do we strengthen the process so that it's not a busybody approach where someone just do it in every parliament, because we live under the live VONC period up until August 2026. So technically, in November, right through next year and into the first half of 2026, the opposition can mount an VONC. Having said this too, AG is currently asking the Supreme Court if we were quite with evil intent, we could have stopped the current VONC process by the court process we have. AG has mounted a Section 19 Supreme Court reference to ask Supreme Court to give their view in the Section 62 invitation to form government. Simply put, is it an event for a formation of government, or is it a 5-year event, so to speak? A 5-year invitation, so to speak. So different plays happening, but look, being in government is not a private mandate to James Marape. I'm just a custodian of the interest of this coalition here. And this coalition anchors, and as we speak at the moment, there's all confidence. Come November, come next year, this coalition wants to get on the business of doing work. They're fed up of this nonsense. They're all equally qualified to be prime ministers. We have few in our ranks, very, very senior, but they profit their own interests so that they really be on one face, one voice. And as I said today, it's a good example for you, witness firsthand. Instead of running off celebrating with wines and toasts, we came straight to work. Last 2 hours we were at work, deep conversations. Even at the expense of lunch, our own personal lunch, we stayed right through, discussing work. So we care less in November, we care less next year. We'll still be at work. We could bring mount another VONC, it's up to them. But on the concept of giving stability through law, this body of leaders will look into what is best so that there's an element of stability and predictability and a merit and ground for contest instead of a busybody contest every now and then.